So today we are on 4.8 and we are going to be changing metric units. The biggest piece that I need you to have in your notes is this chart right here. So if you can copy this whole thing into your notes, and then we will go through it after you have it copied. So pause it and copy it. All right, now you should have it copied. And I want you to pay attention to kind of our middle here. Metric units can use any of these prefixes. We've talked about those in our red hot root words. We have kilo, hecto, deca, and then we go to gram, meter, liter. So you can have a kilogram, a kilometer, or a kiloliter. You can have a hectogram, hectometer, hectoliter. So these are just the prefixes. Any of these can be your metric units. Then you can have a decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. And on here, just to remind you, these are the bigs, these are the smalls or the littles. So when you are going from a big unit and you want to see how many small guys are in it, you're trying to change a big unit to a smaller unit, you're going this way through the chart. When you are changing a smaller unit to a bigger unit, you are going to divide. And what that means is basically doing the swooshes, where you go this way or this way with the decimal. Metric works wonderfully because it is all in base 10. So the first question I have for you to work together with is let's change 0.64 of a liter. So I am going to use my pencil. It's easier to erase if I need to. We're going to go from a liter to a milliliter. And I am at a bigger unit and I'm going to be changing it to a smaller unit. So my decimal will go to the right. How many places? Watch. We're going to swoosh 1, 2, 3 places. 1, 2, 3 places to get to millimeters. And so if I have my 0.64, I drew it really softly so I can go 1, 2, 3, and you place it right here. So 0.64 of a liter is 640 milliliters. So my next question is, how would I change 23.6 grams into kilograms? So if I go up here, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go this direction. So I'm going from here to here. So my decimal point is going to move left. How many places, you ask? Well, if we start here, we are going to move 1, 2, 3 places to the left. If I start here, I am going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the left. I need to add that placeholder 0, and then I need to label it kilograms. It's important when we show work on this assignment that you note the number of swooshes. You will be very lost if you don't realize, am I changing a bigger unit or smaller unit into a bigger, or am I going from a bigger to a smaller? These directions make a huge deal. This will be allowed on both, this chart will be allowed on both your quiz and your Chapter 4 test. So this will come up again I know it comes up again in 6th and 7th grade science. You will be doing this exact same thing because science deals so much with metric units. So another question that we will run into is, which is bigger, 170 centimeters or 1.6 meters? In order to determine this, we need to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples, so to speak, or in this case, we need to compare meters to meters, not meters to centimeters. They need to be in the same measure. So let's look at the 170 centimeters. And the decimal right now is right there. And let's go up to centa. So we're going from centimeters to meters, which is 1, 2 swooshes to the left, 1, 2 swooshes to the left, and now we have 170 centimeters is equal to 1.7 meters. So we can see right now that 170 centimeters is definitely greater than 1.6 meters. The questions like this, it is very important that you don't just make a guess. You need to convert using the chart that we have up here. I'm going to put a few on to try, and then we'll go through them together. Okay, would you please take a moment and pause the video after you've copied down 1 through 4 and tried these on your own, but remember to refer back to your chart. All right, you should have paused these and tried them. And I always use a pencil when I'm doing this because of the swooshes that I do. So if we are at 230 grams and we're moving to kilograms, so in here I see that it's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going left, then I am going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to remember to label it, or it will be wrong, not just half wrong, 230 grams to kilograms is basically, it's 230 thousandths, or you could put 0.23 because there is a cows come home 0. Both would be correct on a quiz or a test. Change 2.5 milliliters to liters. So we have milliliters, and we're going to move to the left 1, 2, 3. So 2.5, I draw that really lightly. 1, 2, 3, decimal point 00. I'm changing this to liters. 0.0025, so 25 ten-thousandths of a liter. So the next one we have is comparing millimeters to centimeters. So I'm going to take the centimeters and I am going to move it to equal millimeters. So I'm going to do my 3.5 and I'm going from centimeters to millimeters. So if I'm on centa, I'm just going to move to the right 1 space, and I am going to move it right here. So I can already see this is only 35 millimeters, this is 50 millimeters. So if I were to have to put a sign in, it would be pointing to the right. So now we are going to compare 1/100th of a kilogram to 8 grams. It doesn't matter which you choose to convert, but I'm just going to go ahead and take my kilograms and I'm going to convert from kilograms to grams. So if I look up here, I'm going to swoosh it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is the equivalent of 10 grams or 8 grams. Well, I can obviously see the 10 is bigger, but when you look at this decimal at first glance, it appears that it should be smaller, but we are not comparing the same units. It's like comparing inches to yards. You can't do that. Or pounds to ounces. You need to convert to figure out which is bigger. The biggest problem that kids have is they don't continuously go back to this chart. Are you moving from here this way? Okay, if you're moving left, you swoosh to the left, your number is going to get smaller. If you are at a big unit changing to a smaller unit, you're going to swoosh right. This chart will help you. Ask yourself, what am I doing? Am I on a big unit and the next unit is a smaller, or is it the other way around? Am I on a smaller unit changing to a bigger unit? Please come see me if you have questions. This one can get a little confusing, but stop, take your time, and you will do great.